All right, so we are working on a 2014 Ford Taurus with a 3.5 non-turbo V6. We're going to be doing a water pump timing chain. So what I've done so far, we took the intake air tube off, the evap. I'm going to finish taking it off over there. Pulled the harness up out of the way, disconnected the harness from the injectors, the coil packs, and the timing sensors, the solenoids over there. So we got the wiring harness somewhat out of the way. I get you in time lapse and start this process. We will need a couple of special tools at this point. The fuel line disconnect. We'll eventually need cam holders to hold the cam in place. When we do the timing chains, we're going to have to put an engine stand down on the bottom to support the engine, so we can take the engine mount out, and that front timing cover is going to come off. I'll go ahead and get you in time lapse and start this process. All right, so we got these lower bolts loosened up and the upper part of the timing cover. And the reason for that is, one, I got better access so I can hit this when it's down on the ground, being supported by the jack stand. So I got the uppers off. The belt, I've got two 10mm bolts still in place up here. That way I don't get them mixed up with the 13mm down around it. There's two more 10mm at the very bottom. So I'm gonna get the one section cleaned up a little bit and mark it with a marker. That way we know exactly where the 10mm came into place. So I'm gonna go ahead and lift it up, drain the oil, get that drained out, because once we pull that water pump off, it's gonna drain down and I don't wanna contaminate the oil. We're gonna change it anyway, so it's not gonna really matter. But that way it's not overflowing into the floor. I can keep that drain plug opened up and let it drain into a pan. So I get that done, lift it up, get that done, and lower it back down and start the top portion, removing the valve covers and the motor mount. So we're going to get this kind of set in place and get you back in. Alright, so I've got the engine mount taken loose. The nuts are 15mm, the bolts are 18mm, and I also went ahead and took out these studs here. These are inverted Torx number 8. Once you get those loose, it'll come right out. Make sure you got the engine supported. So now we're freed up. You got an 8mm right here. Now we can go ahead and get the valve covers off. Then we can get the 10mm bolts here, the 15mm bolts that hold the bracket cover in place, and then the lower bolts that we didn't take off but we kept in there. They're loosened up, so we'll get you in time lapse. Alright, so I've got the timing marks marked up. I'll show you that here in just a second. So right now I'm just taking this oil galley out of the way. Just going to set that out of the way. And you'll know you got the timing marks set up when the special tool that is required, which is a kit, kind of like that, will actually physically go on, no issues, on the front and rear at the same time. So let me get this back oil pressure feed out. And what I did was I used a long extension once we got the roughly to top dead center, where the piston's coming up on the compression stroke on cylinder 1. Took a long extension and set it in the spark plug holes. Now I did pull all 6 spark plugs just to make life a little bit easier. You see I got this long extension shoved in there. So now we're going to make sure everything sits in place. Rear cam, the locks are sitting flush front to rear. So we are top dead center on compression stroke on cylinder 1. The cam phasers tool is nice and tight in there. See if I can show you. So they sit in there, they'll sit flush. Then we got our timing marks. This may be a little hard to see. One right there, and the other one is back here, pointing up at this solenoid up top here. So that's sitting in line there. So we're going to go ahead and take these, this one here and this one here out. That way I can get this chain up and out of the way. But first we got to take the tensioner off down here. Then we got to take the the tensioner bracket. The actual chain sits on this bracket right here, which is your chain guide, tensioner guide. And we got to take this guide out here. And we are going to take this back one out. Now, in order to do that, you got to partially take this front phaser off. So it's not the best idea, but you can leave this in place. But once we look at this a little bit more to determine the guide length and how bad it is, if it's even an issue. But there's the water pump. So we'll get you in time lapse and show you this process. Alright, so we got the new water pump in. The guides look good. There's no abnormal wear. And this guy's wanting to go as cheap as possible. We're against my advice, we're going to go ahead and do this here. So we are going to go ahead and put a new chain in and put everything back together. His thing was that the water pump was bad. He requested to replace all this, to replace the water pump and the timing chain, nothing else. He's aware that the back chains are based off of miles, should be done. He doesn't want to do them. He just wants the main chain and water pump. So we're going to go ahead and put it back together. We'll have him sign a statement about this. It's not recommended, it's not ideal. So it covers us. So we will go ahead and put this timing chain back on and button her up. So we're going to have to kind of play to get the marks lined up here. So let me go and get the chain in. I'm going to get you in time lapse for that and get this kind of partially set into place. And then we will pull you back out of time lapse to talk about the timing marks. Alright, so here we go. Here is the timing marks. You see the orange dots line up here. That goes right dead smack in the center. This is a little bit harder to see, but I've got the orange dot right in the middle of the yellow. We are a nice tight tension here. We go down to the bottom side here. We are dot in between the two links. So we are still loose right here because I have not released the tensioner. So as you can see, we still got movement down here. So this is nice and tight. Back here will be nice and tight once I get the tensioner tightened on that, release that tension. We'll be able to rotate it just a little bit to secure it, but that is the locations of where the timing's supposed to be. So we will go ahead and finish this process back up in time lapse once I make sure everything is good and tight. So there we go. Alright, so we just put a regular plain black RTV all the way around. That way it gets a nice good seal. This does not have a traditional gasket. They only use RTV. So this is Permatex. So we're going to let this sit up overnight. But I'll go and get you in time lapse as we put this thing back together. Alright, so we got that put back together. So now we're just gonna let it sit overnight, let the RTV fully dry. All the bolts are tight. I'm gonna go back in the morning, retorque them, make sure they're good. Right now it's still sitting on the jack stand down there, as well as the lift locks. So for tomorrow when we come in, I can go ahead and put the engine mount in and go ahead and get the valve cover, intake, all that back on, check the coolant, fill it up, and then start it up, and should be good to go.